Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brent and welcome to Fallout the Death Claws. I'm here with...
Tim. You're here with Tim.
Welcome Tim, and I'm also here with...
Don't welcome me like it's not my thing too.
Wait.
You're not the president of Fallout the Death Claws.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
What?
Where's London?
I can't hear any obnoxious laughter.
London is not here today, so it will just be Tim and I. I know you can all mourn the...
I can hear the audience crying out in pain that he isn't with us.
So, Tim, what are we going to talk about today?
Nothing specific. We're gonna tirade off things about Fallout 4, and you're gonna love it.
And then we'll eventually move to news, and I will be covering that. So, Tim, what do you want to talk about with Fallout 4?
Let's talk about the Pip-Boy App.
So, the Pip-Boy App. What do you think of it?
It's gonna be great. I'm really excited to use it.
So, do you think it's going to be beneficial even though you don't have, like, you're not getting the actual plastic Pip-Boy itself?
I don't want a gigantic wonky sack of shit on my...
What are you talking about? It's the future.
It's not the future.
It's... Dude, listen, smartwatches? No.
Do you want to play
Pip-Boys.
video games with a gigantic brick strapped to your arm? Or
I got a question real quick. If you were getting the Pip-Boy, would you be excited?
No.
You getting it for free?
Nope. I'd be like, you can keep it.
Are you serious?
Would
you not?
Serious. I would not take it just to spite you.
So if I said, hey, listen, I don't really like my Pip-Boy. Here you go.
I would say, well, no shit, and I'd throw it. I would literally throw your Pip-Boy just to spite you.
But I want to talk about something else. I just want you to say that you want a Pip-Boy.
In what context?
Just like, would you like a Pip-Boy? Would it be cool?
If I was in the Fallout universe, yes.
Okay.
But me sitting in my basement, I don't want this thing on my arm for 3 hours.
So, my question is, if you still went to college, would you take it to class?
Fuck off. I would be that guy.
Would you wear it to class?
No, because I don't want everyone to think I'm going to shoot up the school.
What?
You know that equates to a school shooting when you walk in with a Pip-Boy on your arm.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
What would people think? Wow, damn, that's a cool smartwatch.
Wow, damn, that kid wasted like $110.
It's 120, and most of that's the game.
Wow, that kid wasted, like, he could have gotten, like, I don't know.
Laid.
He could have had intercourse with someone.
So.
Well, back to my topic at hand. I think it's going to be awesome because I'm so fucking sick of screens popping up and me not being able to look at the screen and play the game. I'm going to have it right there on my arm. I'm going to blip around, pull on some armor. I'm going to wander the wasteland.
Interesting. So, do you think even though that now the Pip-Boy does not pause the screen, that this will be beneficial in any way?
It's going to be so much more immersive. Like, games like this, like Zombie U on the Wii U, it did that. It doesn't pause the game, so it's real time.
Yeah.
So you're a lot more frantic. Like, if you're in a battle and you want to get a stim pack, you can't pause it because that defeats... It was never fun because I felt like I was cheating the system. I would pause the game, per se.
Yeah.
Heal myself and then go back, and it wouldn't be fair. So I have to manage my health before I get into a battle. I have to go into things more cautiously.
So, I know Fallout 3, or at least I know Oblivion did it. I can't remember if Fallout 3 did. I'm pretty sure it did. It did hotkeys, right? Like,
yes, I think all of them do hotkeys.
Yeah. Do you think that this one will do hotkeys? Because I don't think that's a confirmed thing. And like, there's
it's kind of expected though.
I mean, it's expected, but you also got to think the controller's the same. Like the button layout's still the same. Like there's still the same amount of buttons on an Xbox One controller as there were on the 360. And I feel like there's a lot more things that are going on in Fallout 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sacrificed the hotkey.
It probably doesn't take a lot to put it in there.
No. I'm saying as they don't have enough buttons for it. Like, what if they run out of buttons? Like, without the hotkey. And actually, this would make the hotkey way more important because it's never been important. Like, you just boom, game's paused it anyways. Why do you care? So, like...
That is true.
So, first case scenario. If there is no hotkey, do you think, like, this would, like, make the hotkey almost okay that it doesn't exist?
I don't think we need a hotkey if we have it right there next to us. We have all of our items. And people have to realize that it's a dual screen experience, so you have all the items right in front of you, so there's no need to hotkey because you can...
What if people don't have a smartphone to use it with?
That's an argument, but I think if you don't have a smartphone, you probably don't own a high-end gaming computer or a next-gen console.
That's a bold statement.
It is, and I'm not talking about monetarily. I just mean If you're not
You're not
into
technology.
if you're not into it, because flip phones still work, like they're good. But if you don't own a smartphone, you probably don't play video games.
Flip phones. I know
like
actually a lot of
dealers.
celebrities actually use them. I was actually I'm going to be very honest with you. I saw an article. It was like, how many celebrities still use flip phones? And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Your doofy ass clicked on it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did click on it. It was clickbaity. So I wanted to say it was actors that I didn't even know.
The way you use your free time honestly bothers me.
Yeah, it bothers a lot of people, actually.
I hope it bothers the audience.
Well, we'll
write
see.
in the comments how much you're bothered.
So, second case scenario. We have the hotkey. Do you use the hotkey even though you have the Pip-Boy?
I've never used the hotkey.
I never used the hotkey
never
either.
used it.
I feel like I accidentally hotkeyed things and then accidentally hit the hotkey, and I was like, I can specifically remember playing Oblivion and hotkey like a sword by accident, not remembering how to remove it from the hotkey, and just being like, "Damn it! I just brought up that sword. I did not mean to do that."
I did it with really like rare potions in Skyrim, and I'd fumble or I'd throw the controller in there, and I'd use like my invisibility potion.
Damn.
I don't think there should ever be hotkeys. You're not using a computer. You don't need hotkeys.
I just like. I felt like in any Bethesda game that I've played, I felt like I've never used hotkeys, other than maybe the computer. I think on the computer I've used plenty of hotkeys. Of course you use
hotkeys on a computer. That's why they're invented.
Yeah. So, next topic. What do you got for me? What do you want to talk about in Fallout 4?
I want to talk about...
let's talk about the style. Like this revolutionary, war... Or not... Yeah, revolutionary war kind of...
The style of the... what do you mean style?
Like colonization style, like how they have the repeater that they were using in one of the trailers.
We've talked about this before.
Not so much.
I mean, we grazed upon it, but I think there's definitely a feeling of colonial.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's just kind of weird, or do you think that that's going to take away from like this 1950s look that Fallout has always like?
I like the feel they're going for. It's Boston, it's history, it's colonial, and they're not saying that the technology exists from the 1700s. I think people are kind of modeling their guns after the history of the area.
Yeah, but like, I guess I'm just under the thing of it's like, and I want to talk about a different game real quick. It's like Halo and the DMR. Do you know the DMR? Okay.
I know the DMR.
It's like that. Like, why didn't they just put the BR in there and just say the BR was already invented, kind of thing?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So like, I guess I'm under the impression of why someone would be using that musket, repeater that they were winding up rather than a plasma rifle. Like, it seemed like they wanted to make sure that you knew that was the staple
They're
gun.
shoving it in your face that we are in Boston. Like, they don't want us to forget.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying. I mean...
Like, it doesn't... From the trailers, not the beginning of the game. The beginning of the game is totally 1950s.
Yeah, and then you go into Boston, it's like, they forgot the timeline.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, Bill, this game's really 1950s. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's like the one developer wasn't speaking to the other one at the time. They're in a fight, and the other guy is just coding.
It still is cool because if you go back and play New Vegas isn't really a 1950s feel. If you think about it too much, it's more of like a early 1900s Western, that's more like what they tried to go for.
Yeah, well,
and then Fallout 3 is our 1950s era.
I want to stop you right now because I just remembered Fallout 3.
Yeah.
If you go into the museums in Washington, you can actually get the old guns.
Yeah, Lincoln's repeater.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're making too much of a big deal about this. I mean, I understand in Fallout 4 it looks like it's in Disney World when you go into Epcot and you go into the America part, and it's just turkey legs and repeaters.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it feels like. So I'm excited because every game in the series, save for 1 through 2, 1, Tactics, and 2 are all kind of the same area, but I actually feel in 3, 4, and then New Vegas, there's different biomes that we get to explore.
I see what you're saying.
I like that a lot, that we're not in a stale environment.
Do you think, and this is just something that popped in my mind, do you think Fallout should focus more on the history of the area or its style?
I see what you're saying. I think
like Fallout has a particular style. Like with this game, it seems like they're focusing more on the history of the area rather than the style. And I think you can say that's the same for New Vegas. And Fallout 3 was kind of a best of both worlds kind of situation because Washington is something that's upgraded with the times anyways.
Right. I like what they do. I like how there's a melding of the current theme and style of the world.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a melding with that of the past, the history.
Yeah.
So you can it's really fun to walk through the universe and look at all the stuff and figure out, okay, was this pre-war or post-war? So you can find the computer terminals, but you can also find in that same room like stuff that someone built like after the bombs dropped. You know what I mean?
So something again popped into my mind. Back in Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I feel like mostly Fallout 3, there's a lot of mysteries, I think, that like you and I looked at them, sort of.
Okay.
And we it kind of like took me by surprise. It was like, well, I played through this and like never thought twice about some of these things, like how they came about. You know what I'm talking? Like even just like the lore of the series, like it's kind of like Vault 87. Like I didn't really look into like what it was about or anything. I just kind of went in there. I was like, "Hi, Fox," and then I was like,
"Yep,
get me the Gek," and I got out of there. I didn't really know anything about it.
I don't want them to explain it. I don't want them to come out and say, "Here's what you're looking at."
Well, that's what I'm saying now. Now that we see like there's like a lot of depth to things that we didn't really like look into. Do you think in Fallout 4 you're gonna do more depth diving?
I just
the
don't
first
think
time,
so.
Or you think you're gonna do it
for one? I don't think they actually know their timeline. I don't think they have a conscious view of what.
I think they're just trying to make a great game.
Yeah, I think what they do is they make the game and then they kind of add in some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
To reference the past. I get what you're saying, that we get to see what happens before, but I think that's just framing so we can understand the gravity of the world we're in now.
Yeah.
They're not trying to give us a clear picture into what the world was like and give us context as to how things happen. They just want a vantage point between fuck up and post.
Well, I mean, that's not even just what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like...
What are you saying?
Like, do you think now that you've seen the depth that Fallout 3 has, do you think you want to see what Fallout 4's depth was, or do you think you're just going to play the game straightforward?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're going to figure that as we go. I definitely want to see it, but
like,
I'm not going to search for it.
Yeah, are you...
No.
Like, let's say you're in, like, a vault or something, and there's a terminal. Are you going to read what the terminal says now?
You see, I've always played like that. I don't ever go through and consciously try and figure out what's happening. I let it kind of come to me. Like, if I'm in a room and I see, like, pre-war stuff, I'll definitely look through it.
See, I never did that. Like, I just grazed over it, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's a terminal. Oh, it says some things. Okay, bye.
I just don't get how people can't get the backstory for games.
I don't know. I guess, like, I played Fallout 3 rather young as well, and New Vegas I played on launch day, so... Like, Fallout 3 I played literally launch week, so I'm not...
oh, man.
Yeah, I was young for when it happened. I mean, maybe 12, 13, so... It was definitely a more complex game than I was ready for, I think.
See what you're saying. I mean, there are a lot of games where the lore isn't readily available.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, in Halo 3, you have to, like, find terminals. You have to go, like...
Oh, yeah, Halo 3's lore is so, like...
it's a pain.
It's an iceberg, you know? Like, 20% surfaced and 80% below surface.
You have to go out of your way. You have to go on an hour-long quest to find a lot of it.
Well, I mean, that even carries to Destiny. Bungie went to Destiny, and they did 20% surfaced, 80% under the water.
Bungie's just awful at that.
Yeah.
I think Fallout is the complete opposite in this series. It's there, you just have to look for it. You don't have to look too hard. You can go through the game without finding it, and it still makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of the story elements are there, and that's what counts, like that emotional story. And actually, there was an interview, and I wanted to bring up that interview because it was like, it's like super pertinent to the question you asked. And you're like, why did they give a voice actor? And they said the guy that did the voice, the guy that put the voices in the game, he's like, we wanted to make an emotional story. And he said the only way that we could see doing an emotional story is having a voice behind it. Because if you're there and he's like, you know, Fallout 3 has some great, you know, emotional set pieces, but just having to click text and not hearing it takes away from the set piece itself.
Man. that speaks to our generation as a whole. People can't get emotionally involved unless we have all the stimuli. I remember like I've said this so many times before, often and on the mic, the old point and click adventure games for like the PC and even like older systems, like 8-bit games. There's no voice acting, but I was so emotionally attached to the story and the dilemma of the protagonist. People just can't get into it now. I'm annoyed that they're...
I don't want to say they can't get into it. I just think the game is very... I think Fallout is a great universe to have a voice protagonist, because I think it just gives way to that, because everything's voiced, you know?
Right.
Like I can see certain games not having a voice. Like if a game has no voices, like there's no NPC voices, then
there has to be NPC voices. Like I can agree with that. I'm just bugged that the main character has a voice, because that dictates.
No, because there's a lot of emotional games where no one has voices. I mean, a lot of people really like the game we played the other day, that war game, Valiant Hearts. It really doesn't have any voices, but you and I really felt the emotion from that.
Yeah, we got into it really hard.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think Fallout really gives itself to not being able to portray emotion. I feel like it would do a lot better with a voice protagonist, because it is like, I have selection bars. Let them be silent while I'm like, what should I pick? Like, that would be awkward in a serious situation. Like, if I'm talking to you and I just click a thing and I'm just like, and then like, oh, yes, that is quite good.
I like, the one thing that I like about, it's Telltale Games, right? That
Yeah.
Company
they have a voice protagonist.
No, what I'm talking about is they give you a certain time limit to pick
Yeah.
your...
Oh, yeah.
I think that
needs
I would
to
have loved
happen.
to have that more than a voice.
That needs to happen.
I mean, I'm still sticking with... Because they're trying to make me feel emotions, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do not like when the game company tries to tell me how I'm feeling, and they're giving this guy a voice so he can tell me.
They're not necessarily telling you how to feel.
It's just the subtle things, like if he's talking to someone and they make the voice actor sound sad or dejected, they're putting that on me, and they're saying, "All right, this is how you're feeling right now."
but you probably assume that connotation to their voice by the words that are in that text phrase.
What do you mean?
So like, most of connotation doesn't necessarily come from voice. A lot of it does come from like the words itself, because like you say one wrong word and everyone's like, what are you talking about? You know, even if you do portray it in a certain way. Like, let's say instead of saying, I think you're mean, I think you're an asshole. Like, that's way different, you know? You know, and so you can kind of assume that the way they're going to say that. They're not going to say that in the kind of like, they'd either say that stern or they'd say that like almost sarcastically. And you're gonna know by the context of the situation whether or not it's sarcastic or stern.
It would help in some situations to like hear how it's being said.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, like the thing we really have a problem with on this podcast is how like the one option is like, I have to go now.
Yeah, exactly.
I can be like, I have to go now, or I have to go now. You know, right. So it would be nice to hear it said, so I don't feel so goddamn awkward.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna to bitch about the
itching your
being
neck.
Voice.
I have to go now.
I'll be all right with the voice. I won't lose any sleep over it. If I could do it, I just wouldn't.
Well, that's just what they said. So I just thought that was interesting, because that's kind of what like I thought, in a way, because like it's there. I personally get more from the voice as far as that kind of gameplay goes.
Man, watch me get so immersed with the voice, though.
Yeah. They picked very good voice actors. I think you should listen to them. They're pretty good.
Do I pick who voices my character? Like, I would love to have a choice as to like what.
Well, there's a man voice actor and there's a woman.
I know, but I want like different, like in Futurama or something like The Simpsons. They have like different voice actors for like robotic stuff. Like you can have like Sean Connery or Pierce Brosnan or like Rosie O'Donnell. Like that's what I want to pick. Like I want Pierce Brosnan.
Kind of like the TomTom navigations where you could be like, I'm feeling Homer Simpson today.
Yeah.
Go right. Don't.
Christopher Walken. I would love to have him voice a Fallout character.
Walken.
All right. Where's the stim packs? Walking around waste. Wow, it's hot. I want that. 300 hours of gameplay. Just him being a doofus in the wasteland.
Dude, you know what though? Like, I could definitely feel like, okay, let's real quick. Let's give a voice to the protagonist of each like Fallout 3 New Vegas. Okay, who's the perfect celebrity voice actor?
Fallout 3 would be like Jason Gordon-Levitt.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my god, really?
What is he playing?
Movies.
Yeah, no shit.
I think he was in Inception, maybe.
Okay.
Oh no, I know you don't watch horror films.
Oh, dude. You know what though? Like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, you gotta like. I'm gonna think it in context of like his father. Like, the voice actor's father is
Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
So we get Ewan McGregor in there. Let's get the whole fucking Star Wars cast. Come on in. Hayden Christensen, so you can just bitch about everything.
Dude, New Vegas. I feel it's
a really gruff guy.
No. No, because, dude, he gets shot in the head. Like, somehow survived. Maybe, you know what?
Who was the guy who did the Countdown for New Year's? Dick Clark. That's who I wanted it to be, because he got shot in the head.
That's horrible. That's awful.
Yeah?
No.
What would that sound like?
Who
Bang! Shot me in the head.
You're terrible. You're an awful human being.
Don't you dare cut this out of the podcast.
You're an awful
They need
human
to
being.
hear.
Who dude, I can never think of his name. Who's the guy that like everyone like associates as like the super tough guy?
Vin Diesel?
No, Vin Diesel was terrible. He's got like a gritty
ripped,
voice.
Though. He's ripped.
It
What do you mean the tough guy?
He's got the tough guy voice, and it's like really gritty, and like he's super old now.
God, is it the guy who played Machete? That guy.
No.
He's a rough voice.
No, he's like super old now. I can't think of his name.
No clue the hell you're talking about.
He didn't.
You didn't give me a lot to work with.
He was a cowboy in like.
John Wayne.
No, not John Wayne.
No.
Oh.
What are the Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood. That's it.
The different generations of cowboys.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood would be a cool voice for it.
I could see that coming a mile away.
And who else is the who's the guy that I try and voice act all the time? I can't think of his name.
I don't fucking know.
Or like he drives the Lincoln.
Oh my god. Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey. That'd be a cool one to do.
I would prefer him for Fallout 3.
Fallout 3?
It's a more relaxed environment for me. I just want him. I'm driving a Lincoln.
What?
He's going through the wasteland.
No, his voice would be totally much better for Fallout New Vegas.
I still want Walking for Fallout 4.
Walking for Fallout 4.
It seems like it's going to be a more zany, like, up-in-your-face game, and I want him just freaking out. How? Wow! Just
so many colors.
Yeah.
No longer gray.
I want him doing that in, like, Portuguese, though.
Portuguese?
Is that one of the ones that's supported? No.
Polish.
That's what I meant.
Russian. He does Russian.
Or it's, like, Japanese. Dong-ting, wow. Dang. Because he'd be so annoyed with it. I could just tell that Christopher Walken would be pissed that he has to talk in Japanese.
He'd be like, take me back to that ping pong movie.
He probably has experience. He didn't
what was that movie called?
Balls of Fury. He
Balls
didn't
of Fury.
use like a foreign accent though. He was just like ping pong. He just refused to speak like everyone else.
Yeah,
he was like, my accent's zany enough. Like,
yeah.
That's fine.
He's like, take me back to that movie. This is terrible. I'm not doing Japanese. To be fair though, will those be voiced?
What?
The Japanese versions.
We have it right here actually.
Well,
yep. Voice text. So there'll be voice and text in Japanese.
Wow.
They're putting a lot of goddamn effort into it.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Mm-hmm. That's almost like an anime.
Yeah, really.
Anime, they put a lot of work into like the voices and stuff. I'm pretty surprised.
We're devolving.
Yeah. So. All right, another topic. Come on, you got this.
Topic. We haven't really talked about the house building.
Oh,
I just saw it.
Yeah, I was watching some stuff about that.
Same thing I watched.
Yeah. They said they were taking a lot of inspiration from Minecraft and another game.
I saw how it works, and I don't see any Minecraft in there whatsoever.
Yeah, that's yeah, but
they're taking inspiration because you're building something, but
yeah,
like, that's like taking cooking inspiration from.
Well, I thought the same thing. I was just like, it doesn't look anything like Minecraft. Yeah. It almost looks like all these damn survival games, early access games that are coming out on PC all the time. Like, I mean, it looks
Did you
finished.
play the forest at all? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's dude,
That's
it looks
it does look like the forest. I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Wow. They
It's
didn't even.
almost the same
Did they
component.
say they took inspiration from the forest?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost exactly what it looks like. I like how they did a green tint. Like, it's just like invisible and green before you place it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That looked really cool for some reason to me. Like, I was just like, wow, that just looks cool.
When I heard that you could build a house, I thought it was going to be them finally trying to like re-civilize and make things not so shantytown. But then I saw the video and it's just disgruntled, like boarded up wood going everywhere. I kind of like that. I didn't want them to. Yes, dear.
I don't mean to interrupt you,
Well,
but
you fucking did.
But they said that they don't want like any loading times. Like, they don't want you to have to like open a building, go and loading. So I was like actually just thinking about that. I was like,
how the hell are they gonna do that?
Well,
You're gonna need loading times.
Like for most things, like they're trying to do it as like least as possible. Because I was actually thinking with the house, like, how do you build the outside and like put the door on and be like, I'm gonna go inside this, and like it just becomes a whole house inside.
They have to do the classic Resident Evil bit, because back on the PS1 they didn't want to have loading times, like loading screens, to de-immerse you. So you know the classic bit where the door creaks open. Yeah, that was the loading time, but it was so well hidden that no one really thought any of it. They just have this old creaky door going.
But I think
open.
you can just see inside of it, can't you? Because you're just putting walls on. You can see inside there through the walls that are like crappy.
The cracks.
Yeah.
That would. Oh my god, that would use so much like memory. Of
oh
the game.
yeah. Oh yeah. But
you gotta be able to see inside.
You gotta remember though, this is on the Xbox One, PS4 now. It's no longer on the 360 and at PS3.
Well, it's gonna use like upwards of 35 gigs.
Yeah, but that's just textures and voices.
Yeah, but it's going to be...
That has nothing to do with how much we're putting on RAM at that specific time or the processor.
No, I just mean like how gigantic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's going to be a lot of it to...
They're really good at compression, though. Because I remember Skyrim was only 5 gigabytes when it came out.
What, for just download?
Yeah.
That's unreasonable. I don't believe you. I almost don't believe you.
Their compression artists are like kings. Because I bet you that if it's that much, I bet you, not even just bet you, guarantee you that game was probably like at one point like over 100.
Dear Lord.
Like just like think about that. Think about all the things that are in that game, because they have customization for your house.
Well, don't even think about like the actual gameplay, but think about all the things that you can do.
That's what I'm thinking though. I'm thinking they have all the pieces for customizing your house, all the pieces for customizing weapons, all the different weapons, all the different buildings they have, the different areas, the different textures, all that different things. How they compress that into just different armors, like how they compress that into just 25 to 30
possibilities too. You can combine like one piece with anything. There's like what, thousands of pieces.
Oh yeah.
Do the math. It's millions of possibilities.
Oh yeah.
Shit. But you know how when they released Skyrim, they told us like the map is going to be the size of like this much. Like, do we know how big the map is going to be?
Okay, first of all, I think in Skyrim they said it's going to be either the same size or a little bit bigger than Oblivion.
No, dude, do you not remember? They were like, it's going to be like 16 times the size
of... No, they didn't say it was going to be that much bigger than Oblivion, because they said it's way more detailed and there's more to it. So
regardless. How big is this map? Do we know?
No, I don't think they've said anything about how big it is. They said it's the biggest game world they've ever made.
Okay.
So we know it's bigger than any of them. I want to say that they combined two together. I think they said if you take Fallout 3's world and like Fallout New Vegas and put them together, it's still bigger than that.
That's pretty damn.
Oh, actually no. I think they said if you take Fallout 3's world, Skyrim's world, and New Vegas world, it's bigger than that.
That's way too big.
I think that's what they said. Don't quote me on that.
Until I'm 30.
There's gonna be so many things to do, and even Todd Howard and the guys that they had in the interview. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Todd Howard.
It's uncanny.
They had all the people in the interview say like, have you seen everything in this game? And they're like, well, combined the team has, of course.
Yeah.
But they're like individual members, even just individual teams of the team haven't seen the whole game. Like they're like, we're playing it. I have 400 hours in the game, still seeing new things.
Yeah. That kind of bothers me. It's like a chore that
it bothers me almost just because it's just like, wow, dude, that's so much. But it's just like, but in real talk, dude, this
real
talk, dude,
bro.
In real talk, this game is big enough to just like last,
Last, yeah, well,
because like I look back at Fallout 3, I'm like, maybe I didn't do everything, but like I did so much.
Then you look at the map and everything's discovered.
Yeah, and I'm like, I did like 99%. Like there's 1% that I didn't do.
If you looked at like a map of the world of Fallout and your path you took during the game, you would realize how much you missed though, because it's just zigzags everywhere.
Oh yeah,
you miss all the like the random.
Oh no, it
details.
wouldn't be zigzags. It would be zigzags at first, and then it'd be like fast travel.
Yeah, like once you
be like, let's look at your fast travel map. Boop 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 boop.
But like
boop,
when
boop,
you
boop.
first get out of the vault, it's just like everywhere.
Oh yeah, well like I said in one of the previous podcasts, like the first thing that I did when I left the vault was go to like the spring. Is it Springfield?
That's
Springdale.
the mine place? Springdale.
Like right outside the vault.
School?
Yeah, the school. Like I went there, and that freaked
called,
me out. That freaked me out. Like
So
that place
no,
was. Yeah.
You thought the whole game was like that.
Yeah.
In reality, it probably would be.
Yeah.
You know what? I do have something I want to talk about.
Oh, what's up?
So I was trying to talk to you about it the one day. We were actually like rendering a video, and you were just getting annoyed with me.
Yeah.
How would you survive in the Fallout world? Like if you were in the Fallout, what would be your straight? Like how would you interact in the world?
How would I interact? Well, first of all, I want to make my backstory real quick. So I would have been from the vault. Like I would have been a vault.
You think you've been important enough to get into the vault?
You didn't necessarily need to be important. It just seems like our character was just like a normal citizen that just got.
All right, I'll buy it.
So I want to be from a vault. I want to say that for the sake of this thing, I'm going to be in Boston, right? Because that's where we want to be because we want to play Fallout 4. But like, you know, I'm from one of those vaults. Everyone in the vault's pretty good. Like we're all surviving. We're doing our thing. No cryogenics, nothing of that. And we come out
That's
like
wishful thinking, though.
Yeah, we come out like let's say we did cryogenics and we left like 50 years and went out of the vault. I would explore because I think that's cool. Like I just want to like see the world.
Do you think you're equipped for exploration?
Do I think I
realistically? Don't be like those people who are like, I would kill all the zombies in the zombie apocalypse. How do you think your Fallout experience would go after you exit the vault?
So after I exit the vault, first of all, I would I would only talk to people if like I can't like I scoped out everything like a town. Let's say I wanted to go to Megaton, I'd like scope it out for like
you'd be mindful.
Days. Yeah, like I wouldn't go in because like I wouldn't want an experience of cannibals, you know?
Right, because you're only one person.
Yeah, exactly. And like the first thing I would want to do is like find someone that has like a similar goal to me and obviously team up, you know?
Right.
Like,
so you wouldn't be the lone
wolf. No.
You'd want to go
that's
as
an
much
awful idea.
as,
Yeah, exactly. Because like if I get hurt, they can patch me up, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd want to like basically assemble a team, like an A team. So
what would you say, sedentary in this place you find, or would you branch out after you find your people?
I want to say that like depending on the town, like it really depends. Like Megaton is like a cool town to like stay at, you know? Like it doesn't seem like anything's going wrong there other than like the bomb.
All right, well, fine. This scenario, you're gonna find Andale.
That's horrible.
The first place you find is the cannibal town.
I would. Okay, like I'm a very mindful person, so I would have like scoped it out.
Figured that out.
And I would just be like, they are way too perfect. I'm not going there.
Well, you would have talked to me like, we're just trying to put food on the table.
Andale is a cannibal town in Fallout 3.
We'll see it in our Easter egg video.
Yeah, our top 10 Easter eggs of Fallout 3 video. We talk about it. So, I definitely would have like checked out the places that like I'm looking at first before I would have.
Like
I would have left. Yeah, exactly.
Spawning everyone and all that.
But like my first goal clearly is to find weapons and.
Where would you find weapons at though?
I mean, like I'd assume the vault would have had weapons for me to pick up, but let's say at the very least they give me a 10mm pistol.
The vault would have weapons, but nothing that you could use to survive.
Yeah, like a longevity thing. Like let's just say they gave me a 10mm pistol. I would use it just to get like a sniper rifle or like a rifle of sorts. That way I can eventually just hunker down.
So your plan is to hunker down.
My plan is to eventually. I mean, like you can't always go out and survive. I mean, that's just how it is, you know. I want to create my own society.
With every post-apocalyptic game or movie or TV show or whatever, I'm always bothered by the fact that they don't make an effort to repopulate, rebuild.
You're talking specifically The Walking Dead, almost.
I have been watching a lot of it, so that's where my main concern comes from.
Yeah.
In the Fallout series, you have all the factories, you have skilled workers who can operate machinery.
Yeah.
Why don't you clear out the rubble?
Okay.
You know?
I'm going to give you a counter argument, though. First of all, the factories have been abandoned for years, and they were most likely affected by the bombs. Okay,
Maybe.
Also, I think, and I'm gonna like almost Mad Max this because the universe takes a lot from Mad Max. Mad Max, they don't even know what the name of gasoline is, right? They call it like guzzling or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like what I'm saying is like they forgot kind of like how old world works.
Know, but clearly they understand that walking around covered in deer bones and eating people. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like they should have the drive to clean themselves up a little bit.
Yeah,
the thing is, historically speaking, societies started out just like they were, and then they evolved.
Yeah,
so
but
they should be evolving
but that was over thousands of years, you know, like
right.
It's a complete devolution of society. Like society's fallen apart. There's no society. Society does not exist. And like now you have tribes almost. That's what it becomes. It becomes tribes. And like now you have tribal warfare, and then eventually it'll probably work itself, and they'll be like, well, we're kind of retarded for doing this, you know?
Yeah.
Or not even just that. You know, you'll have a tribe that just expands so much that they become the dominant ones. Like Caesar's Legion. You know, if Caesar's Legion would have taken over all of New Vegas,
it would have begun to start being civilized.
Everything would have been civilized because everyone's like-minded individuals. You know, like it all comes down to the fact that because people are allowed to free think, like completely free think, radical think everything. You know, because this is a lawless society. You can radical think, you can free think, you can do whatever you want. And so like you have this devolution of society with lawlessness, and that completely makes it one of those situations where it's just like, well, is there a way for society to actually sprout from this, or do we have to have like a complete conquer of the region to actually do it? And I think that's what House was trying to do, you know,
in a really wrong way,
a really effed up way, trying to remake society by actually making everyone come together and think like-mindedly.
I'd just love to see it, and again, I'd love to see the characters start to go, okay, why don't we, get rid of these fucking blown up cars that have been here for 200 years? Let's start, because all they do is move into areas that have been occupied by pre-war society. They're not rebuilding; they're just occupying. Well, I'd love to see some ingenuity in the NPCs of the series.
But you're also thinking like all these blown up cars and all that. You're specifically thinking of like the DC area.
It's just a goddamn mess.
Yeah, but look at the DC area and like who lives in the DC area like full time, like other than Three Dog.
Yeah.
Like the DC area is lost. Like everyone's accepted it. The Brotherhood of Steel accepted that.
Yeah.
Like everyone's accepted. DC is it's gone. It's so heavily destroyed. There's so much rubble. Like let's just not deal with it. We'll do the Jefferson Memorial. And we'll eventually they went to the Jefferson Memorial and distributed free purified water. Yep. And what was the Pentagon? The Pentagon is what they took over. Mm-hmm. Like they were like, this is where society will be. This is out of the way enough that society can be here because this isn't all destroyed. And they started cleaning up the areas around.
Yeah, I want to see more of that.
But they also had to take some of the cars and make barriers because they didn't want the Enclave to completely pile drive them. Mm. And that's why the everything is like that. They want everything to look destroyed because they want especially the Enclave with the vertibirds to just go over and just be like, oh, this is a destroyed area, like it hasn't been cleaned up. There's been no effort, and so people want to be hidden because they don't have an option not to be.
I think what bugs me is what you just mentioned, the Enclave. I mean, this is the government.
Yeah.
More or less the legitimate government of the country.
We think. They think.
We're taking their word for it.
Yeah.
Somehow there's an heir to the presidency or whatever. Yeah. But they have the technology. They have vertibirds. They have government technology. I would love to see it. Just let's start rebuilding the Fallout world. That'd be a fun game in itself.
Yeah.
Just everything slowly unfucking itself.
Yeah. But, what was the reason that, especially in Fallout 3, that that we don't want the Enclave? Like, why did no one submit to them?
It was just the typical tyrannical Star Wars Empire thing.
Okay, so it's just like...
They were like, we're the government, listen to us, we're going to come down, we're going to collect what we need from you, we're going to rule over this area.
Was the Enclave there before the Brotherhood of Steel? Was the Brotherhood of Steel always there?
The Brotherhood of Steel, I want to say it was a part of the government. How the Brotherhood of Steel worked was, it was members of the military that branched off before the war happened, because they had disagreements over how things were run. So that kind of carried through. I believe that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't
Podcast
know.
audience.
Don't hammer us too hard.
Yeah. It's been over 6 years since I played Fallout 3, so.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable. So we'll go ahead and wrap up with the news real quick.
Wrap up!
So, alright, so in today's news, we have the minimum specs that came out for the PC. They are rather high, so if your PC is not modern, you're definitely going to have a very hard time running this game. We're looking at a GTX 550 Ti as the minimum, with 780 being the top runner. So you're definitely going to need a high-end PC if you want to meet the recommended at least. We also have between 28 and 35 gigabytes of storage on the consoles.
So what you're going to do is you're going to want to erase everything you have on your system just so you can play this one game.
Destiny.
Sell your games because
Master Chief Collection.
Be able to use them
Bloodborne,
anymore.
whatever you're using.
Whatever you have, get rid of it. Yard sale.
I'm going to quickly talk about the release time. The game will be launching 12:01 local time unless you live in Asia or Japan, which will launch December 17th. So basically what this means is if you live in Eastern time, you can basically change your IP address to UK for a little bit and you get the game 6 hours early, or vice versa for the...
You didn't hear that from us.
Yeah, no, you're not doing that because you would get it Monday and it doesn't launch yet. The language it supports, we're not going to go over this. We'll link a...
you know what? We're not going to do
page.
That. Whatever country you live in, the dominant language, it has it.
Yeah. So.
And language and text. So you're going to be able to enjoy the game in your native speak.
So the PC will compatibly support the gamepad on Fallout 4, and it will just be plug and play, so no things to install, which is rather nice, as well as Steam achievements will be supported. The platforms that the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy app, which will launch alongside the game November 10th, will be supported on the iOS, Android, and Windows phone devices and be compatible with the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. If you're looking to see what phones fit into the Pip-Boy Edition Pip-Boy, then they will include foam inserts for the phones of the following: iPhone 6, 6S, iPhone 5, 5S, iPhone 4, 4S, Samsung Galaxy S3, S4, and S5. They will also have a customizable foam, so that way you can support most popular smartphone devices. However, any phone bigger than, let's say, the S5 or the 6S will not be supported, so your iPhone 6 Plus or your Samsung Galaxy Note will not be supported for this Pip-Boy Edition Pip-Boy. Pre-order bonuses will come with the physical copy of the game, and it will be a perk booster. It will come with the Pip-Boy Edition and the regular edition. Digital pre-order bonuses will vary by retailer, so please do check your retailer for your pre-order bonus. Fallout 4 will have a season pass, which will cost $30, and it will be at least worth $40, just like Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Skyrim's DLCs were. Bethesda also announced that they will have a creation kit for Fallout 4 and will be available for free early next year, and will be available for the PC. It is the same tool that they use in Studio, so you'll be able to create your own mods and share them with others. We're especially excited to say that they will also support Xbox One and PS4 with their mods. Fallout 4 will be regularly updated, just like Skyrim was, whether it be a small update or a larger update, but if you can remember back to the mounted combat and the legendary mode, as well as kill cams, visual enhancements, and more that they did to Skyrim, then Fallout 4 should get about the same treatment.
Yeah, they're gonna go in and fix the super mutants flying backwards.
We'll see.
Bethesda is just so goddamn lazy.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
They make us buy a beta, and then they fix it.
Yep.
What's wrong with it? Don't you guys have people?
They've had plenty of months to fix it, though, which is pretty nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up today's podcast. This is episode 3, of course, and we'll have to see you in the next one. Tim,
we're not going to see them. I tell you this every podcast.
We might see them.
We're not seeing anyone.
What if they send us pictures on Twitter?
I hope so.